Hi everybody, I'm back. I'm back for the spring equinox reading. I had forgotten when I did the last moon reading that spring is just around the corner and then I'd be back to do this. Spring begins on March 20th and that's the day that Aries comes in. So Aries is helping us start our spring, which is nice because that's movement. And the Aries energy is movement, it's passion, it's a lot of, it's a cardinal sign, it's fire, so it really is movement. And we've been through such a crappy winter. And when I say that, I mean just energetically. It's been hard on a lot of people, and that's because the energy's kind of promoted that, you know, so we had to work to keep our spirits up and our vibrations lifted, and you know, it really was putting in some personal work. And now we're coming into spring, so spring's all about life and blooms and warmth, the sun. And we've got Aries, which is, you know, a power sign to help us move into it. So thank goodness I'm ready. So yeah, I'm here for the spring equinox reading. So I'm wondering, you know, as we do this reading, I brought several different decks of cards to the table, and I figured I'd just kind of feel my way through it and see which ones I wanted to use. But yeah, what is it that the universal energies and our guides and our God and our angels and all of our spiritual team that helps guide us every single day, what is it that they want to give us for messages as we move into spring? Shedding. I'm getting a lot of that, like shedding out the old stuff. Shedding out the old stuff, releasing. Just releasing, letting go. I really do feel like there's a shift in energy. Like we've been through this like icky period of time where there's been a lot of anger and there's been a lot of fear. And all last year, you know, we were asked to step out of fear. Fear really is a weapon. It really is. It's the weapon that keeps us down. If we can be kept in fear, then we're not stepping into our power, and we're not leading our best lives, and we're not making our best decisions, and we're not doing anything really that creates a nice high vibration for ourselves. So stepping out of fear has been a consistent message, right? I feel as though there's an energy shift, and I feel as though that's starting to come to pass. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Because who wants to live in fear? All this fear. Ugh, throw it in the trash. All that does is hold us back. That's all that does. All right, so I'm going to pull, I've been shuffling. I'm going to pull a card from the Deviant Moon deck just because my son gave me this deck. It really is my favorite deck. We'll see what message we have off the top of this. Aha. So it's cups. Okay, so cups are about emotion, as we know. We've talked about it and talked about it. Over the last year, we've talked about it a lot. So if you look, you've got the cups, you've got the fish, you've got the water, all of those things representing emotions. So you've got these three people all right in the mouth of the fish. The fish is in the water. Their cups, they've got their cups. They've been dumping, they're even dumping their emotions out on top of the head there. Look at that. It's kind of a reckless card, wouldn't you say? Yep, it is. So it's upside down. So it's the turmoil that we've been going through emotionally, really honestly, over the last year. And we were just talking about that. There's been a lot of turmoil. There's been a lot of emotion. There's been a lot of fear. There's been a lot of anger. There's been a lot of stuff. And there's been a lot of reevaluating our lives. My goodness, what a year. What a year it's been, right? So this is just kind of a reiteration that this is what's been going on. These are all of our emotions. We're being very reckless with them. Reckless with our emotions. So yeah, let's try to step back and feel our way through things. Really feel our way through things. Excuse me. So yeah, let's really try to feel our way through things and not be so reckless with our emotions. Uh, and see what it is that we're really feeling. Because are we really feeling fear? Or is it that our mainstream media and our neighborhoods and everybody have amped it up so much that we've caught it? Are we really feeling angry? Or is it that everybody is saying that we should feel angry and indignant and this and that and the other? And is that really how we feel, or have we just caught it? Because energy is contagious. It really is. And I said earlier this year, as we come into this 5-year, we're really going to get to know ourselves. Truly know ourselves. Know how we really feel. Not how our friends feel, and so we've adopted that. Because that's what everybody that we hang around with feels. And that seems like the right thing. Or not what our parents taught us, and so we either adopted it or we don't believe that because we rebelled it. But we're really going to get to know ourselves. And by doing that, we have to really feel our own emotions. So what is it that we're really feeling? Are we really feeling angry? Are we really feeling sad? Are we really feeling afraid? What is it that we're feeling? Or are we stuck in the midst of everybody else's feelings and energy? It's the only way really for us to live our best lives is for us to get in touch with our feelings. If we're stuck with other people's, it's not really ours, and so it's not ours to carry, and so it doesn't attract the right things into our life, and it doesn't keep us in flow. And there's so many things that will create resistance if we're just kind of rolling with the masses. So let's take a step back, really evaluate our own feelings. I really believe that we're getting ready to come into really much nicer energy. I feel it. I really do feel it. I've been feeling it for a long time, that spring would be the time that we kind of move out of this darkness and back into some light. And I'm looking forward to it. All right, so there's that. Our emotions inside. Really check in with ourselves. Let's check in with ourselves and see how we're feeling. How we are feeling. Not how our neighbor's feeling. Not that we're feeling a particular way because we're in resistance to how our neighbor's feeling, or we're in alignment, but how is it that we're feeling? Really feel it. All right, so the other fun thing that I have is this little deck. It's fairy. It's little fairy cards, right? It's oracle cards. And I thought, well, it's spring. And spring is about flowers blooming and things becoming green and lush and things come into life after they've been dormant. And when you think of that, well, when I think of that, I always think of like dragonflies and butterflies and bees and birds chirping and finally making their way back to my lawn and all of these really beautiful things in nature. And isn't that what the Fae energy is all about? The Fae energy is about caring for all the little critters and caring for the planet and the plants and the trees and the forests and the wildlife. That's what the Fae energy represents. And so I thought, well, if it's spring, let's do something fun with the fairy oracle cards. So I don't know. I think I'm going to pull 3 of these real quick. Just 3 of these. And give us some positive affirmations from the oracle deck as we come into our spring equinox and our Aryan energy, and see what we get for positive affirmations. So I'm just going to shuffle these out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle them. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 3 cards right off the top and see what we get for positive affirmations from this cute little deck of the fairies. Also, it's a little deck, so it's a lot easier for me to shuffle. But that isn't why I chose it. that isn't why I chose it. I really did choose it because it's spring, and to me that represents, you know, all of the growth and the blooming that happens in nature at this time of year. And that's what the Fey energy does. It cares for the planet, the animals. So it made sense to me. All right, so I think they're shuffled enough. I'm going to pull 3 right off the top. 1, 2, 3. And we'll see what we get. Oh, purity. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful, pretty little fairy and a unicorn. Remember back in the 80s when the unicorns were so popular? Some of you might not, but my age group does. I still have mine. I still have mine. Probably never get rid of those. Maybe they'll come back in. Maybe they already have. I don't know. So, purity. Always trust in the purity of your heart. Look inside your heart and within you, and you will find the answer to whatever questions you seek. And that's really getting back in touch with our feelings, right? And with the last reading, the moon reading, we talked about that. I said, I often use positive affirmations. It works for me. It works for me because I just don't tell myself I'm happy. I actually pull in the feeling of happiness. So I sit and I find my still point. And even if I have to go back all the way to the moment that I gave birth and held my child in my arms for the first time, I can always find that feeling of happiness and I pull that in. So no matter how depressed I am, I will reconnect with that happiness. And I feel like we really do have to connect that heart, that feeling with the mind to create a shift, right? So trust in the purity of your heart. Trust in that. Look inside of your heart and within you. And you'll find the answer to all of your questions. Trust that intuition. It's really important for us to trust our intuition. So the next one is a beautiful card. It's abundance. I always think of spring as a really abundant time because things are coming back into life again. There's movement, there's blooming. So this card says, prepare yourself for incoming abundance. Release any mental blocks that you may have into fairyland. Give it up to nature. Give it up to nature. And remember that there is enough abundance for everyone. And I think that's something that holds a lot of people back. In fact, this is a conversation that I have with people all the time. We'll be talking about abundance, and that means so many things more than just money. Abundance is you have people in your life that you love and they love you. Abundance is having food on your table, a roof over your head, warm blankets, heat, pets that you love, family that you love, children that you love. Abundance is, having a job that you enjoy and being able to pay your bills. Abundance is so much more than just money. But even if it's that you have all of those other things and you feel like you don't have enough money and you're seeking to create more of that type of abundance in your life, sometimes people will say, well, there's just not enough of it. There's just not enough of it to go around. I really believe that there is enough abundance to go around. One way or another, there always will be. There always will be. It's believing that you deserve it. It's setting goals to try to obtain it. It's coming up with a plan. It's following your intuition. It's looking for synchronicities. It's following those breadcrumbs. It's there waiting for us. But we really do have to do the work. We have to make it happen. So, if you work in a job that you hate and you're not getting paid enough, start putting it out there to the universe that you're looking for a job that you love and figure out a figure that you need and know that you're worthy of it. And then start doing the work to find that job. And, when you've got that, when you put that out there, you'll find it. Either You'll stumble across a sign, or you will, you'll come across somebody who happens to know of a place that's looking for help, or, it just kind of happens. It really does. But you have to believe that the abundance is there for you. You have to believe it. All right. And the third one is precious time. The fairy of time wants you to experience every moment fully and to make the moment of your precious time. Be mindful not to waste it. Don't waste your time. But it also doesn't want you to waste anybody else's either. That's a pretty card, huh? These are really pretty cards. I'm glad I grabbed them. So that's the oracle. Precious time. The fairy of time wants you to experience every moment fully and make the most of your precious time. Be mindful not to waste it. And don't waste others' time either. Remember, time is precious. So balance, release, prioritize, focus, all of those things are good things to keep in mind. So those are some pretty positive affirmations for us to receive as we come into the new season, into the spring season. Now, let's go to our Dolphin Mermaid deck because it's also very pretty. And get some more positive affirmations from the oracle cards for us spring. So this spring, remember that we can create abundance for ourselves and that there is plenty of abundance to go around. And let's make the most of our precious time. What was the other one? Make the most of our precious time. Oh, and remember that your heart is pure. Your heart is pure, so connect. Connect with your heart. Really go within. Think about your feelings. Ask your questions. Trust your intuition. Your heart is pure. And let's really get in touch with our own feelings. We've been through a period of time where everyone's sort of feeding off of each other. Negative energy doesn't help us get our dreams built, and it makes us physically sick, and there's so many things, emotionally depressed. And when it's not even ours, when we're absorbing what's going on around us, that's like, we all have enough of our own personal inner turmoil and trauma and triggers and crap that we're working through on a regular basis that we're dealing with ourselves to be catching it from other people or to be affected by the masses' energy and carrying something that isn't even ours is an absolute, complete waste of our time and has us going through a really crappy period for nothing. One of the things that I've kind of felt, though, like in the spiritual world, you might hear people talking about the dark night of the soul. And, a lot of times you come into your spiritual being and you start following that spiritual path after you've gone through what they call a dark night of the soul. For a lot of people. Not everybody, but it happens. And that's like a time of intense emotional distress for whatever reason, where we feel lost, hurt, wounded, don't know what way to turn. It's just a really dark night of the soul, and it doesn't last just one night generally. I went through about 3 or 4 years of some really dark shit. But when you kind of pull yourself out of that, it's like, whew. And then you can look back at it and go, wow, I really learned a lot during that period. And I've kind of looked at what we've been going through as a nation, and not just the nation, but as the world, because the whole world is affected by what's happened this past year. And we're really, really fortunate here in America, because when you look at other countries, I mean, they've been locked down. They have not had it nearly as easy as we have. And I realize here, some states have had it harder than others. depending on how each individual state's governor decided to handle the situation. But you know, other countries have really been through hell on their lips. And I just kind of look at it like the whole world is experiencing right now together a dark night of the soul. So we're coming into spring. What have we learned? What have we taken from the lesson? How has that helped us? These are all things to think about and to reflect on. Consistently this past year, we've been asked to restore our faith, step out of fear, use our logic, tap in, trust, and know that something better is coming, right? Blessed change, blessed change, blessed change. I think this has been a really dark period, and I believe, I have faith. I have faith. We're coming into better times. This has all been for us to come into something better. I really, really, really believe that. I really do. I really, really do. All right, so I'm going to take the card off the top here. Protection. This is a beautiful card. Really excited that we get that. This is a really nice affirmation. You, your loved ones, and your possessions are safe and protected by heaven. That's a really awesome card, okay? Protection. You, your loved ones, and your possessions are safe and protected by heaven. You know, how reassuring is that for us to step back from all this fear and anger energy that's run so rampant this past year? Yeah, you're safe. You're safe. And you know, when you vibrate with that, when you know that, when you trust that, that's life-changing. That's life-changing. But we just had the affirmation, right? You, your loved ones, yourself, your possessions, everything that you value, it's being protected by heaven. It's amazing. It's an amazing positive affirmation. I'm really glad that I decided to do the cards this way today. I did a lot of the oracle cards for the last moon reading too, because I feel like for one thing, these cards are fun and beautiful, and but I really felt like the positive affirmations were really the way to go and what it is that we're needing. So I'm going to do one more of these, and I'm going to call it a day. And there's our beautiful spring message. Get back in touch with our own feelings. You know that we're safe, know that we're protected, know that there is plenty of abundance in the world. Know that our hearts are pure and we can go within and touch our feelings and ask questions and get our answers as long as we trust our intuition, right? And don't waste time. Don't waste time. Don't waste your time. Don't waste anybody else's. Time is precious. Make the most of it. Make it count. And here's our next card off the top of the Mermaid Dolphin deck. Oh my. And it's saying we're going to end this reading with this. Dream big. Dream big. Let go of small thoughts about yourself. See yourself being successful and succeeding. So we're not meant to be small. I mean, we're but a speck within a speck in the larger scheme of things when you think of, you know, this world and the universe and all that encompasses. But we're divine beings. We come from God. We're divine. We have divine souls. We're not meant to be small. We're meant to dream big. We're meant to come here and really enjoy this journey. Regardless of what we came here to learn, whatever our path is, our life path is, whatever our lessons have been and how hard they are, we're still meant to enjoy this journey. So dream big. Let go of small thoughts about yourself. See yourself succeeding. Know that you're protected, your family, yourself, your home, your loved ones, everything in your life is protected by heaven. Dream big. Remember, time is precious. Use it wisely. Make the most of it. Don't waste it. Remember, your heart is pure. Look there to find your answers. Abundance. Know that there is always enough. There's always enough abundance. Really sorry about the lighting, guys, but I don't have professional equipment. And then let's get back in touch with our emotions. They've been a little bit of chaos there, right? Lots of chaos. So let's get back in touch with our own emotions. Get out of feeling what the masses are feeling, rein ourselves in, really get in touch with ourselves. Really get in touch with ourselves. All right, so happy spring. Happy spring, happy spring. I really feel like there's some awesome energy on its way. Spring is here. It will be here on Saturday. And until the next moon, I hope you guys all enjoy this energy. Enjoy the movement. Enjoy what's coming. Things are going to be looking up. All right. Take care, guys. Till next time.